Hi, I'm Frank O'Brien and welcome to the second of my video blogs for robertfranciswine.ie. Today we're tasting a Greenpoint non-vintage sparkling rosé from the South Australia. Greenpoint may be familiar to a lot of you, but you may not realise it yet. Greenpoint is the Australian house for Domaine Chandon, or Moët and Chandon as we know here in Europe. Greenpoint make a whole range of wine, Chardonnays, Shirazes and other sparkling wines as well. At a recent Wine Australia tasting that I attended, thank you very much John McDonald, I tasted the Chardonnay and was very impressed. I'm also a big fan of the Shiraz. If you can see it, it is available in Galway and the Cambridges, so make sure to check it out. It makes very good, cooler climate Australian Shiraz. But back to today's wine. This is a non-vintage sparkling rosé, which is a blend of Pinot Noir, Pinot Meunier and Chardonnay from fruit which is sourced throughout South Australia from Victoria, Yarra Valley and Coonawarra. The really interesting thing about this wine and why I'm presenting it today on my wine blog is the beer top cap. A lot of you may not have seen this yet, but there are some sparkling wines from Australia now that are getting capped with these beer caps. The story that I've been told is that in Greenpoint they did this without telling them in Moët and Chandon on their zero dosage bottle, which is a particular style of sparkling wine that Greenpoint make. As far as I'm aware, it's not available here in Ireland. They did it without telling Moët and Chandon because they were concerned that Moët and Chandon would not allow them to do this, whereas the people in Greenpoint really believe that this beer top cap would preserve the sparkling wine with freshness, similar to the way that a beer is stored under a beer cap. They released it to the marketplace and the marketplace absolutely loved it. The zero dosage was hugely popular in Australia, and as a result Moët and Chandon couldn't really do an awful lot about it, so they've extended the cap to some of their others. The non-vintage and the vintage regular sparkling, to the best of my knowledge, are still stored under a champagne cork, but the Greenpoint reserve, non-reserve rosé here is stored under a beer cap. So let's have a look at the wine. But before I get into the wine, I would like to talk about perhaps the one thing from last week's episode that I got the most comments on, and that was the glass. I used the Riedel stemless glasses last week, but for this week I am using a stem glass, so Rachel and everybody else who sent emails, you'll be glad to know this. Unfortunately it's not a champagne glass, so I apologise for that in advance. All of my champagne glasses are etched crystal things, so you would have been able to see the wine. So without further ado, let's get into the wine. As you can see there as I'm pouring it, it is an absolutely gorgeous colour. It really is a lovely light salmony peach colour to this wine with some nice foam action going up the top there. The bubbles in this is quite often a key quality indicator when you're looking for better quality sparkling wines, are those small delicate ones. There's a nice persistent bubble or bead as they use in the trade to this wine. So let's give it a smell. Straight off the bat, this wine is hugely inviting. There's loads of red fruit, red currant just absolutely jumping out of the glass here at you. It's really is like a summer fruit cocktail or something, you know, with just red fruits in it though, with strawberries, raspberries, red currants and maybe a little bit of vanilla ice cream or something on the side. There is just that little touch of kind of a vanilla creaminess or something in the background. This wine does do 18 months on its lees before it's bottled, so while it is a non-vintage, it is bottled in the method traditional or traditional champagne method, so it does have a certain amount of class and quality to it as well, which is becoming more and more common with the Australian sparklers compared to some other sparkling wines from other regions. So let's give it a taste. And this really is absolutely just summer pudding, red fruits for days. They're just jumping up and down my palate right now. The strawberries, raspberries, red currants, ice creamy vanilla thing that I mentioned earlier is just absolutely delicious. And because the wine spent 18 months on its lees, there is a degree of complexity to this. This isn't just like some low-key, low-level grape juice. There is a weight and a balance and an acidity to this wine that is very good. And there's really is nice acidity to this wine. As you can see while I'm talking here, I'm still salivating. So It is very, very good, and the cool climate fruit really does help to deliver not a ploddy, flabby, pedestrian New World sparkler. So I think this is one that you really should have a look and see if you can find. It's available in Harvest in Galway for about 28 euros a bottle. Again, I have no affiliation, no ties to Harvest, but it's the only place in Galway that you can get this. Scoring wise, this really is a good New World sparkler. I like to tell people that, as a lot of people say, that good New World sparkling wine is better than cheap champagne wine. Even within France, a lot of the time you're better off looking for sparkling wines from other areas such as the Languedoc or the Loire Valley if you want to get something sparkling and fun at a better price point than champagne. So this really is a good quality wine with good fruit, good balance, good acidity, and a nice touch of class about it. And the rosé is always very popular in summertime, and it's just something a little different, even though there's more of them hitting the marketplace now. So points wise, I would score this wine 90 points. I think it's a really good effort from Greenpoint. I think the cool climate fruit and everything really just gives this wine an extra edge. So I recommend you go out and try and find this wine, and if not, certainly have a look for a decent sparkling wine from the New World. And then we'll see you next time on robertfranciswine.ie.